Hey guys. Hello, hello. Doing well, thank you. I am. Oh my gosh, I gotta get my deck. Hold on. Rishi, I have a yes, 3 of cups. Amy, give me 1 second, okay? All right, shuffling for you now. Yeah, Amy, whatever you want to do. Amy, I would say he's indifferent. I'm getting a maybe, but I don't think that's like a maybe. I think he's just indifferent about it. Like, maybe it makes him feel like he's gonna see you again, so that makes him happy, but otherwise I think it's fine either way. Amira, I have a no. Oh, sorry, I meant to tell you what I got. I have the 3 of swords and the death card. Zhao, yes, you can ask. Just post your question in the chat. Hey, Sarifa. AK, I have a yes, justice, and 6 of wands. Linda, yes. I don't think they think he's out of the woods yet. I am getting a yes. Sarifa, I have a no. The tower, or maybe so, but it's going to cause chaos. There's some kind of chaos and disorder that's happening here. So either no, or when you do, it might be like a drunk call or something like that. Life-changing shift, I have a yes, the Fool. Diksha, I have a no, 8 of swords. Zhao, I'm getting a yes. You should change careers. Joan, I'm gonna go with yes, but it is the Seven of Wands, and this talks about feeling challenged or feeling a challenge, and it's something that you rise above. So something makes me feel like either I don't know. I feel like it wasn't her original intention to ask you, and then she does for whatever reason that is. So yeah, ultimately yes. Ultimately I think she does ask you, but I don't think that it was her original intention to have you as a bridesmaid. So something must have happened that she would need you to be in her wedding. You're welcome, AK. Linda, it's like a reference meaning that he still needs additional help or he still requires additional healing. Like it means that you guys are close to healing, but there's still like things that need to be done or assistance that he still needs. Okay, Amy, thanks. So Ray, I have a I'm gonna go with no. I don't feel like that's what's happening. Knight of Pentacles and the Lovers feel like things are pretty copacetic. Shar, I think yes. I think this person does look back at your connection with sadness and missing you. I have the Five of Cups and the Emperor. Now I don't think this changes his position at all. I don't think this changes, like, I don't think he's gonna, use as a driving force to communicate with you. Have the Four of Wands, so he's still very closed off, but I would say that there is missing you for sure. I am going to update the donation list here in just a second. Linda, you said he only has 14 days like of care. Is that what you mean? Oh, I see. Okay. He might need more than that, but it's a good start. Maybe there's an extension that you guys can get or something. Michelle, it looks like this is possible. Knight of Pentacles. This is the energy of doing things in the right order, doing things the right way, which could require things moving slowly, but it looks like it's heading in a good direction. You're welcome, Joan. Oh, I see, Linda. All right, so we have 1 more minute left of the free list. Make sure you guys are getting your questions in. Yeah, Amy, I thought I'd switch it up. I want them to do a strawberry one. Strawberry with sprinkles. Haley, I'm getting a yes, the sun. This is a good direction for you. Bria Chantel, I'm getting a no. I have the 3 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. This talks about heartbreak and painful separation. That feels like it could be pretty permanent. However, energies can change, but that's what I'm getting right now. Amy, you can start. Sayo, I have the Page of Cups. This is a yes. You're welcome, Bria. You're welcome. So, Amy, I am getting a yes. What you donated for doesn't require elaboration, but I will let you know that it's the Nine of Pentacles, which talks about things in abundance, things that you're rewarded for, things that you feel you deserve. So, it definitely feels positive, the things that he's communicating. So, Amy, did you guys have plans and he canceled, or were they more like when you went to make plans with him, he already had himself scheduled? Hey, Manor, sorry you caught us too late. The free list is closed. You'll have to come back again next time. My recommendation as a subscriber is to turn on channel notifications, because you should get a notification on your phone if you allow push notifications, and therefore you can get here early. I always do free reads the first 15 minutes of the live stream, so just make sure that you're here at the top of the hour. Okay, Amy. So Amy, do you feel like you're always waiting on him to decide if you guys are going to hang out? Like, for example, do you find that you're always available when he wants to hang out, but he's not always available when you want to hang out? And also, who usually initiates the plans? Is it like 50-50? How does that go between you guys? Linda, I think that you are right, but just from the reading that I got, it felt like there was still, I don't know, I just felt like the word extension. I felt like some more care was needed, or like something along those lines. So yeah, I'm not sure. I can't really like give you specifics on that. Of course, I don't really do medical readings, but I think that you are right. It just makes me wonder, Amy, is if like you don't, like just out of curiosity, if you don't contact him, if you don't initiate plans, if you don't communicate via like Snap or text or whatever, or FaceTime, like I'm just curious how long he would go without seeing you. Like, and that's gonna speak volumes as far as like his current interest in you. I feel like that's gonna speak higher like than what I can even channel at the moment. But I'll see what I can do. Just give me a few minutes to get this going, okay? Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Okay. Let me see if, I can get any information that would be good for you to know. So just bear with me, okay? I feel like the definition of ghost has also like evolved over time. To me, and I'm sure to you and to him, ghost just means like you drop off the face of the earth. He tries to communicate with you and you just pretend that he doesn't exist. You just ignore his messages and everything. But I don't think that you really have to worry about ghosting him if you do intend on reciprocating conversation with him. But it doesn't mean that you have to be the one initiating the conversation. You're still keeping your promise even if you're not initiating it. You're just basically putting more value on your self-worth by doing that. Okay, Amy, I just read everything, but I just did. Like, I finished your channeling. So I just had a chance to catch up with everything you said. I am ready to read you the message. Okay. So, brace yourself. That's all I have to say. It's not horrible, but it's not the greatest. So he says, I was not happy with the way things were going. Being apart has allowed me to gain clarity. I can't keep up with you like I was before. I know I said I learned from my past mistakes, and this is one of them. I can't live a lie, and the truth is that I'm having a hard time being available to you. I wish you could understand how I feel. The last thing I wanted to do was lead you on, and I admit I got in a little over my head. I can tell how much you like me. When I see you, I can tell how much you like me. What hurts is that I think you're a cool person and I think highly of you. I just consider a lot about what it is that I deserve and what it is that you deserve right now. And I don't think it would be the smartest thing for us to move closer. I am okay with seeing each other every once in a while. Are you okay with that? Because if I'm not being enough for you, then I think it's good that we take some time to figure out what we want. For now, this is the best that I can do. I won't be a dick to you because I care about your feelings. I'm just trying to pump the brakes some. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I know you want more from me. I can see it. The truth is, I can't. I am only going to give you what I have been giving you, and I'm just living day to day. And I don't think that's going to change. Not, at least not right now. So, Amy, I really tried to like channel, and you kept saying, I just want to know the truth. I just want to understand the truth. I just want to know the truth. So, like, I set the intention of like, only give me the truth, please. Like, no sugarcoating it. Just give it to me straight. No chaser. You know what I mean? Just like, give it to me straight. And so I think for him, he just is like, Amy, I've given you all I can give you. Like, Amy, this is the most I can give you right now. Like, and I don't think that he has any plans on changing that. I think he's just, I don't know. I feel like this tower moment, it just like really changed everything for him. And it's got him just shifting his focus somewhere else, and you feel that shift. I know it. You even said that you can feel that things are different. Ayo, Angie. Hey, and welcome in. Yeah, let me add you to the list, okay? You'll be after Amy, so just sit tight. Feel free to post your question if you want to, and I can get that answered soon. So, Amy, to answer your question, okay, to answer your question, I am going to say he does. He does view you this way. But for him right now, he's not looking for that. And so he's saying in general, she's girlfriend and wife material. For someone else, maybe for me one day, but not right now. Amy, let me know once you sent that additional 5 over, and I'll confirm for you. Hey, Amy, not yet, but go ahead and post your question for your in-depth reading, and I'll keep checking. Do you want to know if he's talking to any other girls? Okay, Amy, it just came through. Okay, let's take a look here. So, Amy, I am getting a yes that you are the main person he's talking to. Because I hear him saying, like, I want to be independent right now. Like, I think he's kind of freaking out. Like, I feel like he's in this place in his life where he just feels like his whole life just blew up and he doesn't really, the only thing he can count on is himself right now. The only thing he can feel any consistency in is himself. I think he's worried that his feelings for you could change from day to day because so far he's been inconsistent with how he feels for you. One day he wants to be with you, and then one day he's like wants some time alone, and then another day he's busy working. And I feel like he's realizing that his effort and energy towards you has been nothing but unstable. And so I feel like for him, his life kind of just blowing up is making him feel like he needs to kind of just worry about himself at the moment. So honestly, I don't even think he's talking to anyone else. I think you are the main person. But with that being said, he is pulling back from you. So maybe he's just looking, maybe a weekend away with his boys is just, I don't know. I feel like he wants to remain unattached. I feel like he wants to just do his own thing without having someone like expect something from him. You know, he's always having all these expectations on him. And I think he's thinking like it would be nice to not have someone expecting me to hear from me, like expecting to have a call from me, expecting to see me. I think he just wants to just do his own thing, not worry about whose feelings he's hurting in the process. But the thing is that he naturally cares about people. And so it is hard for him to just not care at all. But that is the goal. That is the way in which he is working right now. So no, I don't think he's talking to anyone else. I don't think I think you're still the main person. I think honestly he's just trying to pull away from anybody that would have expectations from him, period. You said you noticed that you wonder if his life blowing up is bleeding into his effort. Oh yeah, I think that something big happened. I'm so sorry. I think something big happened in his life, and I think you hit the nail on the head. And I think he's thinking, what the hell am I working so hard for? Like, I've literally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this situation, and I have nothing to show for it. Like, it's all going to get ripped away from me. And I think right now he's just contemplating, like, what is life? I think he's looking for distractions, but ones that don't require expectations laid upon him. So hanging out with his friends is a distraction, but his friends don't expect anything from him. Not like a relationship. Like if you're in a relationship with someone, there are certain expectations. Don't talk to other girls. Make sure that you communicate with me. Make sure that you see me. Make sure you're putting in an effort. Like other guys don't give a fuck. Like if you're communicating with them. Like you can be friends with someone and not talk to them for months and it's fine. That's not how it is with a girlfriend. Girlfriends want to be communicated with on a daily basis. So I feel like there's just different expectations. So he's looking for that distraction without feeling like someone. And the other thing is too is that I don't know if he even wants to be doted on either. Like I don't know if he wants you to, I don't think he wants you to treat him like a boyfriend without the fact that he hasn't even earned that. Like I think that makes him feel uncomfortable because again, he cares about your feelings. He doesn't want to be a dick. He doesn't want to be that person that like is just leading someone on or like using you. And so like if you give him efforts that he does not deserve or he does not feel like he has earned, that makes him uncomfortable. So like just doing things for him that you would as if he were your boyfriend, I think makes him feel like he hasn't earned it and puts him in an awkward position. And I think the more affection he receives from you, or the more empathy, the more compassion, the more caring and nurturing that you are towards him, even though he finds that as an attractive quality, it like makes him start to feel uncomfortable because he's like, well, I'm not her boyfriend. Like, I don't deserve her to act this way. And I think somehow it ends up working against you, even though that's what he's attracted. That's what attracts him to you. It's also what like makes him move away from you. I don't know. It's like a really complicated thing. This dude is like all over the place. He's not as stable as he used to be. I think it's because for a while he had a plan. For a while he thought to himself, he's going to be a man, he's going to have a house, like he's got a job, you know, like he was working towards a life and he could really see, you know, his girl there with him. And then the whole thing with the house fell away. And then he's like, well, what the fuck am I even working so hard for? Why did I drop out of college? Why am I working full time? Am I even going to go? Like, I feel like his whole worldview just completely fell away from him. And so he's just thinking to himself, like, I think honestly, that's what changed. That's what changed the dynamic of your relationship, to be completely honest. Hey, Jazz, thank you. There are 2 people ahead of you, okay? But feel free to leave your question with me if you want to. Or questions. Let's see. Does he still want to spend Valentine's with her? Does he still want to spend Valentine's with her? Yeah, I still think he intends to spend Valentine's with you, or if not Valentine's Day specifically, then like somewhere in that week. You're welcome, Amy. Amy, I mean, what kind of feelings are you asking? Are you asking me, is he attracted to you? Does he like the time that you guys have shared together? Does he think you're a swell gal? Like, does he think you're a good person? Yeah. But if you're asking if his feelings are developing, like if there's been any progress made from the day you guys first met, it seems minimal. Like, I think he shifted gears, and I think that really stunted whatever was happening between you guys. Hey, Angie, you can post your question. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that when things that happen in our lives that are bigger than ourselves and have us questioning our own identity and purpose and plan, I think that can really shake up our worldview. And whatever path we were on previously, where he told you that he liked you and that he was developing feelings for you, I think all of that can fall away. Like he didn't love you. Like, it wasn't at the point of loving you. You guys are still pretty new, and I think it just really stunted like whatever was developing between you guys. When that happened, things just kind of stopped for him. And I think honestly, even before the tower moment that he had where he got this information from his mom, I think he already had a feeling. Like, I'm getting a message that he already had a feeling something like this was going to happen, and so he was just living in a fantasy world. But he knew that he couldn't fully trust his mom. There was something that he knew, like, this could fall apart, but he was trying to hope and he was trying to believe that that wouldn't happen. And then when it did, it just really like made him start to feel like questioning everything, questioning himself, questioning, does he feel how he feels? What kind of life does he want to live? Like, I think it just became bigger than him. This whole thing became bigger than, and I think honestly, he just changed. Yes, AO Angie, a mini reading is 5 cards. Do you have a question that you'd like to ask? Like, what type of reading do you want to get? Did you want like a general reading? Or would you like to ask a specific question? Hey, Nisha. Yeah, the yes nos ended about 45 minutes ago. Okay, so a general reading for Angie. Yeah, Amy, I don't doubt what you felt was real, and I don't doubt, what he was feeling in those moments. I think sometimes though, especially because you guys were just getting to know each other and it was relatively new, I think it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough to, you know, hold it all together. I think what he was going through and is going through is just bigger than that at the moment. If you guys had been dating for like 3 years, I don't think this is where you guys would be at. I don't think he would be pulling away from you like this. I think he'd be leaning on you. But unfortunately, with the timing, you guys just started getting to know one another and it wasn't enough. It wasn't long enough, you know? Exactly. Angie, I am shuffling for you right now, okay? I think that's great, Amy, because he even said that's what he's doing. He's taking things one day at a time. I'm going to channel down from you, Amy, because I want to make sure that I give an accurate reading to Angie. But feel free to stick around. We can talk in between donations if you want. Okay, that sounds good. General for Angie. General for Angie. What do you want to communicate? General for Angie. Okay. Strength right here. So there's a lot of energy in this reading about family, soul ties, people that you might identify with, like friends that maybe have similar upbringings, values, traditions, culture. Like there's marriage, maybe even there's just like this feeling of like being tightly woven within like a community or family, or there's like a theme here about that. Reading these very literally, I have the Page of Swords clarified by the Ten of Pentacles, and this indicates thinking about the the things that you do now, how they will benefit you moving forward. Hold on one second. My throat chakra is blocked for some reason. So Angie, it feels as though like these two cards together talks about what you're doing right now is the stepping stones that leads you to a happy, fulfilled, and successful life. It's important for you to think about what habits have you made? What are you learning? Do you have schooling? Do you have a retirement plan? Are you getting out there and being social? Like, what are you doing right now? What habits are you creating? What traditions are you making? What are your belief systems? And how is that setting you up? Does that align with what it is you want your future to look like? Um, I also have the Three of Swords and the Hierophant here. It does make me feel like you could possibly be questioning your faith or your belief system or structure. This could have a lot to do with like religion. This could be you deconditioning yourself from the way that you were raised or the way that you were brought up, breaking cycles, things of that nature. Basically, a lot of the times when we're younger, we could grow up believing certain things. We could have certain relationships with money, with our parents, with the beliefs that were instilled in us that aren't really true to us individually. It's not authentic for us individually, but that's how we were raised. So as we get older and become our own person, we have to start trying to figure out, is this what I think? Is this what I believe? Or it does that not have anything to do with me at all, and that's just like what I was brainwashed into thinking or believing. And so with the Three of Swords and the Hierophant, there is this like theme here in your reading of like separating you from what was forced onto you versus what you actually think and what you actually believe, and trying to separate fact from fiction, truth from conditioning. So there's a lot of emphasis here about like, who am I and what do I want for myself moving forward is like a huge theme here. There is a message in regards to being careful for how you extend your energy out there, that people could take advantage of you. If you apply too much effort in their direction, it could feel like you're giving a lot more than what you're getting back out of something, but you do have a natural ability or gift to influence those around you. So you are able to soothe people, comfort people, make them feel seen, heard, validated, make them feel important. You would be like really good advisor, really good at counseling. Like when your heart is there in the right place, you have this energy about you that really makes people feel seen and special. But Spirit's kind of saying, just give it to those who deserve it. Don't give too much to someone if you're not getting something back in return. There is this focus here on marriage. So I don't know if you are like married and so you're needing to avert your attention, focus back more into the marriage itself, maybe give your partner some more of your time. Or it's possible that maybe you have questions surrounding if you will get married or do you want to get married. But there's some emphasis here on like learning more or putting more focus on to the idea of marriage and union in that way. Let me know if any of this is resonating for you. And if you have any questions, I'll see if I can look into the cards here for any other information. With the marriage card, the Four of Wands, there was some shakeup going on here. So I have the Tower and I have the Eight of Wands and I have the Page of Wands. So there could be some questioning as well. It's like almost making me feel like it almost makes me feel like you were married before and you got like things kind of fell apart and the need to kind of go out there into the world and do your own thing. That's what this energy is. Don't have to take it literally if you don't want to. Like, if you've never been married before, married and divorced, then this obviously specifically doesn't apply to you. But that's like the energy of it. It's like suddenly everything you thought that you wanted, you like didn't want anymore. So take that however it resonates. But I think that's where the message ends. Glad to hear that it's resonating for you so far. Thank you, Angie. So, Ajaz, while I shuffle for you, I would really love for you to think in your head who this ex is that you're asking about. Because my guess is that you have multiple people, or maybe multiple exes, possibly. And if that's the case, I need you to think very like focused on like who it is you're asking about specifically while I shuffle for you this X that you're asking about, okay? All right, so the Libra X. Let's take a look here. So this is an interesting message, Ajaz, but I am getting a yes. The message that I'm getting alongside of it is that this person is going to come back, but it's going to be once you're already talking to someone else. So it is going to create a third party situation. So you will be interested in someone else, involved with someone else, dating someone else, maybe even in a committed relationship with someone else. This person's going to come back around at that time. So just know that once you start seeing someone that you're interested in, it's very, very possible that's when this person's going to come through. But I am getting a yes. I feel like it's like King of Pentacles energy, wanting your cake and wanting to eat it too. Like, you want the best of both worlds. It's possible that you'll like have newly started dating someone, and maybe it's still in that phase of like you could still back out of it if you changed your mind, and maybe the ex comes in and starts to have you question things. Wanting your cake and eating it too, wanting to date both people possibly, or entertain that idea of being with both of them at the same time. I have the Chariot here. In this specific picture, it's someone who is sitting between a fork in the road and saying this way or that way. Which way do I go? Which way do I choose? So that indicates decisions needing to be made, feeling challenged in that, and feeling the need for some reason, having pressure on yourself to make a decision quickly. But yeah, that's what I've got. What is your next question? Oh, modeling. All right, let's see. Hey, Amy. I think Amy, actually, before I say anything, let me double check. Yeah, Amy, when you are with the, I guess, credentials that you have for your YouTube account, it allows me to see that you're in here right now. So if I look at the room and I want to see who's still with us, I can. It doesn't work for everyone because some people have their account set on private, so I can't, but I can see that you're in here if I were to check. All right, so the main message that's coming through Ajaz is patience. I feel like there's going to be a lot of near misses in the beginning, a lot of things that are set in place that are going to make you feel discouraged, and opportunities that will come through, seem promising, and maybe nothing comes from it. I do have an underlying energy and encouragement here of the Seven of Pentacles that says, even though you might have to wait, even though you're not going to be able to immediately reap the labor of your efforts, the fruit of your labor, then it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for you. The Seven of Pentacles is a lot like the idea of planting seeds in your garden. You can't go out there tomorrow and expect to have a whole entire thing of like strawberries and onions and everything's just grown in full. You have to tend to that. You have to care for it. You have to nurture it. You have to keep putting effort into that. And at some point, suddenly, before you expect it, you're going to walk out there, there's going to be a jalapeno ready to be taken off the vine. So it's one of those things where Spirit is saying this is going to be a challenging thing for you. There may be times of lower, income coming through because maybe you're having to put more focus on a career that's not giving to you. But this is like a labor of love. And if it's something that you really, really want to do, it's worth it. But you just have to keep in mind that you've got to be patient. You got to allow yourself the ability to work through these hurdles. Not to say that you're not going to get some kind of brand deal fairly quickly, it doesn't mean that, but maybe that's the only thing you get. And then once that deal is done and that contract is over, then maybe you don't see anything for another couple of months. So, I feel like Spirit is just saying it's one of these like inconsistent things that happen. You have it in you to get it done. You will get your justice. I do have the justice card here. You will get rewarded for your efforts. And I also have here 6 of Wands, that you will feel appreciated at a certain time and you will be rewarded. But maybe in the beginning, it might just take a little bit of time. So just keep that in mind, okay? It takes time for things to grow, exactly. There also at the bottom of the deck is the 5 of Swords and 5 of Wands. So this could indicate competition. I hope that it's healthy competition for your sake and not immature pettiness or anything along those lines. Maybe just some healthy competition. But this is a career path that could be very concentrated with like a lot of people, and that might be difficult. So think about what it is that sets you apart, think about what it is that makes you different from the norm, and play to those attributes, play to those qualities that you have that set yourself apart from other people. Thank you, Jazz. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw a last call up on the screen. I'm going to run to the restroom while I wait for people to get their last set of donations in, if that's the plan. And yeah, so still here, just gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Hey, I am back. Amy, I got your donation. Okay, Amy. What's your question? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I was just laughing at my cat. He's looking really special. Oh my god. Cats are funny. Yes, I remember in your yes no question. Yes. No, my phone is across the room. My god, I wish I could get a picture. He's still kind of doing it now, but it's like not as funny as it was before. It just was like a you had to be there kind of moment. He's like laying on his back with his feet up in the air, his paws up in the air. And he's got like his head turned in this like very like unnatural looking position, and he's just staring into the room. I guess he's like zoning out. And I don't know. It was just like I was like, is he alive? Is he okay? What's going on? He looks dead. So, Amy, do you feel like you're not trusting him? Like, do you feel like he only says these things to get something from you? Do you feel like he's not that kind of person? Do you feel like what are you feeling? Because I know that we talk a lot about what he says and wanting to know what he thinks and he feels, but you very rarely say like how you're thinking or how you're feeling. You feel worried? Do you feel like you're like really into him? Like, do you feel like you made just like this big connection and it's hard to walk away from it? Most times I'm just always distrusting of people because of my trauma. Yeah. Do you find that it's easy for you to fall for people? Yeah. So like once it clicks, then it's like you can see it. You can see it all with that person. I got you. I wish that we didn't have to put ourselves out there and just like catch feelings in order to find out if someone's real for us or or not. It's difficult situation because I think that us women tend to get our feelings in the mix a lot quicker, a lot faster. What's interesting, I will say, is when Brennan is the first person. He is the first person that I dated that I did not ever get ahead of myself with. I took every day as it came. I guess I was just really fucking traumatized by everyone I had ever dated. I never thought about the future with him when we were dating before we became official. Once we became official, of course, that stuff just naturally happens. But when we were dating, I never thought about the next day, the next week, the next time I was going to see him. I never thought about like, oh, what's our future going to hold? Like, will we ever get committed? Will we get married? You can fantasize and go like very far into that whole thing. And looking back on it now, I never really realized it until this very moment, but I didn't do that with him. Like with him, I just took it one day at a time. Like I didn't let myself get overly infatuated or like fantastical. Like I just was like, this is a cool guy. I like hanging out with him. I like spending time with him. And mind you, I was on dating apps and I had been talking to a lot of other people, potentially to go on dates with those other people. But Brennan just caught my attention. He was really good at communicating. Like something that I'll always say is that he would always respond to every little thing that I said. So like I could say a whole paragraph and like in each paragraph was like 5 sentences long and he would respond to every single sentence. And to me that was a big deal because he paid attention to the little things and he knew, or he made me feel like everything that I said was valid and everything was worthy of a response. And we just vibed and we didn't think too far into it. We didn't even talk on the phone really. We just texted each other, got to know each other, and eventually took it off the app and took it in person. And I will say he's like the first guy I ever dated that I just took it one day at a time. I never got into that like mindset of what could be. I never let my feelings get ahead of the status of the relationship. And I think that was a really big thing. And honestly, I think that's probably why we worked so well. And he asked me to be official. And yeah, I would say that the times where I tried to get ahead of myself in the relationship, that's when things started going really bad. So I don't know, maybe there's something to that. When you like someone, you like hard. So it's like if I'm happy, I'm really happy. Do you think you could have bipolar disorder? Not like as a joke, like seriously, do you think that that's possible? Because if you only know how to experience extremes, there could be something to that chemically. You always think of everything and anything, and you feel like you can't control it. This is where you're. Oh, mental illness. Okay. Because I know I try hard to control things when I shouldn't because I was never expecting to like him. I don't know how I felt about him until we bonded and talked more and just hung out more. Even though we didn't hang out much, it was like each hang session you guys had was in depth. I don't even know because my bestie said I could have it She your friend has it? Yeah. This could be like a really good reason as to why maybe you kind of let Eli take a back seat, you know? Um, I think there's a lot of things about yourself that you have a hard time even articulating. Like, if I ask you questions about you specifically, I notice a lot of the times you'll say, I don't know. And I think that you do sometimes, but maybe sometimes you're like, I really don't know. I really, really don't. And I think in those moments, it's important that you get in touch with yourself and figure yourself out. And I think, like you said, you wanted to go to therapy and you wanted to speak with someone. Um, and I think, if nothing else, then to just get to know yourself better and be able to be more intimate with yourself and have a better understanding of who you are, you know? Because you don't want to be waiting on other people to make decisions for you. I think you want to have the confidence to do that yourself. And I think that reaching out and starting to talk to someone is going to do nothing but help you. And you might have to go through different therapists. You know, you might like not vibe with certain people. But once you find your person, then I think that it's important that you continue to see them, and just talk to them and allow them to ask you questions that make you think. From what I gather, Amy, I don't think that he is a player. No, not really. I feel like he cares about you, but I feel like he's realizing right now that it's probably best for him to remain single. And so he's thinking, well, I've already established this connection with Amy, and, I do enjoy her company. So what do I do now? Like, I feel like that's what he's saying. What do I do? Because I don't think that I should lead her on. I don't think that I should. And you know what? Maybe I'm channeling some things that he's communicated to his friends. So let's keep going with this. What is he telling his friends? Um, I feel like he's saying that you guys have established a connection, a relationship with one another. My mom likes her. I like her. I like her company. But it's suddenly a lot of stuff has changed, and I'm starting to think to myself, like, maybe I should not be in a relationship right now. I thought that's what I wanted, but maybe that's not what's best. But what do? I don't want to lead her on. I don't think I've led her on. I don't want to lead her on. I want her to know that, like, I enjoy being with her, but I can't give to her. Like, I feel like that's what he's saying. He's like, what do I do? Like, what am I supposed to do now? Because something kind of already started between us, you know? And his friends are probably kind of like, well, I mean, if she wants a relationship, then yeah, you got a problem. If she's cool just hanging out with you and nothing really coming of that, then I think there's no issue with you guys being together. Like, I feel like that's what they're communicating. Let's see, what else? What else? So I feel like he's saying, what do I do? What do I do? I feel like his friends are like, you just need to take it slow, man. Like, don't rush into things. Don't jump into things. Eli is taking this to heart. I think that could be possibly why you're noticing a shift, is because he's slowing things down with you. I think that he's saying, well, like, we've already hooked up, like, not that she expects anything from that, but that's just not the type of guy I am. And, like, I don't just sleep with people just to sleep with people. Like, I really thought this was heading somewhere, and now I just don't know, and I feel like it's unfair to her that my feelings have just changed. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should stay, if I should go. I don't even know like what my life is right now. I feel like I just need to stay single. I feel like he doesn't really want to break things off with you either. I think he's saying like, I don't really want this to end with her. Like he's like, I don't really want to be done with this, but what do I do? The natural progression of things is that we eventually get into a relationship, and that's, I can't give her that, but I don't want things to be over. So what do I do here? He's probably communicating that. It looks like he's looking for a lot of advice. His feelings about a relationship, I think, like when he says that things have changed for me, his feelings have changed, is that he thought that he wanted something that he suddenly feels like he probably doesn't want anymore, or he can't have. So like he felt like I think at one point he felt that he wanted a relationship, and those feelings changed, and now he's feeling like he wants to be, or he needs to be like single or independent from you. But he's like, he started something up with you, he doesn't necessarily want it to be over. I think he's having a hard time of letting you go. That's probably why he keeps that single line of communication open for you, because he's not quite ready to move on yet from it. So it's like, this is what I'm gathering, is like he's saying, I'm giving something to her, but it's not sustainable. This isn't something that can go on forever. I at some point have to figure out what it is that I want to do here. And something tells me she wants to be in a relationship with me, but in my gut, I don't think I can give that to her. So do I just keep hanging out with her? Do we just keep seeing each other and spending time together and not putting a label on it? To what end? You know, at some point she's probably going to ask me where this is going, and I'm not going to have an answer for her. So should I just do the right thing and just break things off? Do I just let things kind of fizzle out on their own? Eventually she just gives up and walks away. Yes, Ajaz, you can donate again. So I feel like, Amy, those are the things that he's communicating. I think more than anything, he's having like this crisis, and he's like, what do I do? Someone tell me, what do I do now? And I don't think he wants that either. I think he's having a hard time letting go of this connection with you, because you're fun, you know? He likes what you guys do together. I just think that he knows this isn't going to end well. It's like that quote from Nick Miller on New Girl, where he's like, I know this isn't going to end well, but the whole middle part's going to be amazing. I feel like that's kind of where he's at right now, where he's like, he knows this isn't necessarily going to end. Someone's going to be unhappy in the end, but he's just trying to enjoy it while it lasts, I guess. Amy, I wouldn't say anything to him in this circumstance because you don't want to scare him off. I don't think anything that you say is going to make things better. You could say, I don't want this anymore, and then you break up. You could say, I'm frustrated that you're not giving more to me, and then that pushes him away even more and just validates his concerns that he's been having. You could be the complete opposite where you're like, oh, I'm here for you. Let's talk. Let's see each other more. And I think that could also scare him. So I just feel like if you expect more from him and vocalize that, if you give more to him and you vocalize that, either extreme is not going to be helpful for the state of mind that he is at right now. I think truthfully, you just have to, and it's going to suck, but you really just have to let him initiate contact and you really have to let him make plans with you. And sad to say, I think sometimes when he makes plans with you, you need to be unavailable because he's not available to you 24/7, and I don't think you should be available to him 24/7 no matter how bad you want to see him or how bad you want to spend time with him. You got to be strong because you need to book yourself. Get yourself booked and busy. Like, he's going out with his friends and you go out with your friends. You hang out with other people. Go take up an art class somewhere. Go be busy. Get a second job. Like, go do something that takes up your time because you cannot possibly be available to him more than he is available to you. And I think at some point, if he realizes even more so that he doesn't want to let this go and he doesn't want to break this off with you, then shit or get off the pot. He needs to put a ring on it, like he needs to figure that shit out for himself. And I think you just need to let him take the lead. And I think that also is going to let you know exactly where you stand. If you say, okay, I'm not going to ask him out, I'm not going to like make plans, I'm not going to initiate conversation with him, and you see that he hasn't even talked to you in a week, I think that's going to let you know where you guys stand in a very real matter of fact way. So watch him, let him burn, like let him make the bad moves, like let him decide this. Don't be that person's just waiting on him. Jazz, what are you talking about? What did I say? Right. Just let him call the shots and be a friend. Yeah, just let him call the shots. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's going to suck, especially since you're really feeling the guy, but I think this is your best move. The shit, the shit in pot. Let me find out. Yeah, I mean, but seriously, like that's what it is. Like, stop wasting my time. Amy, you're a queen. Like, stop wasting my time. If you don't want this, goodbye. Like, stop thinking about your feelings for him and start thinking about his actions towards you. And like, you need to feel that you're high value. Stop thinking about how you feel for him. I swear to God, if you can stop thinking about your feelings for him and stop fantasizing about him and stop recreating the memories that you guys have made inside of your head over and over, if you just straight up look at him as his actions and nothing else, it will be very easy for you to pull back from this situation. Don't allow your brain to make this into something that it's not. Like, don't think about your feelings for him, think about his actions towards you. But it's one thing to say it, Amy, but you have to be it, you know? You have to be it. Would a queen and a goddess allow someone to give to them minimally? Would they accept that? Would they settle for it? I also heard this thing the other day, this TikTok, which was interesting, where this girl said that a lot of men these days will, the way that they work is they will give you 110%. They will give you 100% of their time and effort in the beginning. They will text you, they'll call you, they'll make plans with you. It's called love bombing, but they'll give you so much of their time. And a lot of these times it's men that you weren't even interested in the first place. And they will give you all of their attention, and you're like, okay, I guess this guy isn't too bad. I'll give him a chance. And they're just like really putting on the works for you. And then they dial it back to like 90%. You're like, hey, he's probably busy, no big deal. But I notice it, but it's not big enough to mention. Then it's like 80%. And they're like, okay, something's going on here. Something feels weird. He's not giving as much as he did before, but whatever. I'm going to let it ride. And then they're giving you 70%. And you're like, okay, no, something is definitely up. So then you confront them and you're like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like, you're not texting me as much as you used to. And I don't know, things just feel off. I'm like, oh, sorry, like, I didn't mean for anything to feel weird. No, nothing's wrong. And then they give you 5% more. Since you have that conversation, you view that 5% as valuable and you think to yourself, oh my God, that's 5% more. So you're at 75%, but you're not at 100, but you're accepting that extra 5% because that's better than 70, right? Then that go down dramatically to 60%. You confront, they give you 5% more, you're at 65, then they bring it down to 50. And at some point, you went from 100% of their attention, their effort, all of that energy, and now you're at 50%. And at some point, you'll get down to like 20% energy and effort. And they'll be like, oh yeah, sorry, I'll just call you tomorrow. And you haven't heard, they haven't called you in like a week. So when they finally call you, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, like he called me. And you're at 25 fucking percent, okay? And you're settling for this, you're okay with this because you're like, well, at least it's something, at least it's better than nothing. But this person was giving you 100% in the beginning. Why are you settling for 25%? This is like a common pattern, a common thing that happens in the modern dating world. Men do this. I don't know about women, maybe Jazz can enlighten us, but men do this. And so now, Amy, you're in like that 25%, 30% range, and he could be a very good guy and he could be well meaning, but it's not what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? You have to let him, you have to just let him move. Just watch how he moves, watch his actions. Just sit back and watch. Call it a science experiment and just really see how much effort he's giving to this. And have you been giving 90% and has he only been giving 10? And is there a relationship there when you're not giving anything at all? Because that's going to tell you everything. Think Barb, Amy. Women are worse. Take the men. Oh no. Who would have thought? Yeah, Amy, I mean, you definitely have reasoning behind it, which is nice. It makes you able to categorize the fact or compartmentalize the fact that it's not about you, which is nice because most people don't get that. So at least you have that perspective. It still doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, though. Yeah. Damn, HS. It's not good for either of us. Thank God I'm married. All right, Jazz, I'm shuffling for you now. You can probably hear me shuffling in the background. Yeah, Amy, I agree. Yeah, I think that's the best plan, honestly. Thank God. They say get married. I get married is when I know this person is for me. Yeah, for sure. I think what helps is that Brennan and I were together for 8 years too before we got married. So we were pretty, I mean, if we didn't know then, what are we even doing? Right? Right, honey?
Still don't know.
You still don't know? He says, I still don't know. And he's like laughing like he thinks he's so funny right now. It's cold out here. Oh no. Oh, Amy, I'm sorry, girl. We're about to eat dinner. So I'm just going to wrap up this live stream. But Amy, I'm going to be doing readings tomorrow, so you can either come back live, or if something happens and you don't end up seeing me, you're more than welcome to donate and email me, and I can send you a voice clip if you want. All right. Well, I book at least one of my modeling casting to be able to walk for a fashion week this year. Okay, Amy, that sounds good. Yeah, come back tomorrow. So, Ajaz, let's just say I hope I'm wrong. I'm not getting a lot of indication that this will happen. But I don't want to tell you this. I'm getting a no for the most part. But they are saying that this can turn around. Like, you can change this outcome here. The magician is here, meaning that it's up to you, that you are able to insert yourself in some way or change some aspect of yourself that will give you a better chance or a better opportunity. I don't know much about modeling. I don't know if like they have coaches or if they have agents, or if maybe there's more like things that, I mean, I don't know. Audition sounds like a weird word. Modeling audition might be a thing. I don't know what the word is for that. Maybe there's more things you can apply for that will up your chances or increase your chances, because you're, you know, the more things that you apply to or audition for, the more opportunity chances you have at getting a yes. Like, if you just enter yourself into one thing, that's a lower chance. But if you enter yourself into 10 different things, you have a higher chance of one of those things accepting you. Does that make sense? Like, increase your chances. Spirit is saying, like, this does have to do with you. If there's something that you can do that you feel like, okay, I've been thinking about doing this one thing, but I haven't done it yet, maybe just go ahead and do that thing. The moon is here, and in the traditional Rider-Waite, if you look at the moon, it kind of does look like a catwalk, honestly. It looks like there's like this catwalk path that you're walking down. I feel like you're on the right path, Ajaz, but I feel like there's something here that you would need to do to turn this no into a yes? Do you have any like thoughts, brainstorming, anything that you think of yourself that might help increase your chances of like being able to book something? Okay. So I think that by putting that focus and that effort into those things, we can change this trajectory. We definitely can. Whenever I see the magician, it's like no matter what the answer is, it can be changed. So castings, that's what I was looking for. Castings. I'm like, I don't think it's auditions. Castings. I need to be prepared, get my comp cards. And there's probably no way for you to get into the city more often, like via train or anything. Did you really? That's so cool. Okay, so my thought process is that this is going to go a lot better for you once you can start to get these other things taken care of. Because again, magician always says this is in your hands. It's saying, Jazz, you have the tools in your arsenal to make this happen for you. So essentially, this was a really good time to ask this question because the tarot always talks about like, if you don't like what you hear, then make different choices and change the trajectory of your future. And so a lot of times people don't like what they hear with tarot. It's like, if you can control it, if this has something to do with you, then you can change this outcome and you don't ever have to run into this. So it's almost like a little mini premonition, if you will, to fix what's not working. And if you like what you hear, like what you see, then you just don't do anything differently. I have to set up my game, get organized, and no, this isn't lightning. Good, good, good. I have to put the work in. Yes, ma'am. Amy, what can I clarify for you? Get to work, Jazz. But that's very cool though. That's a really I feel like that's awesome to be able to say you walked in New York Fashion Week. That's a big accomplishment. It's huge. That must have been a lot of fun. I feel like that must have been really nerve-wracking, but it must have been a lot of fun. Amy, in general, I'm not getting that he's like not wanting one with you specifically and he wants to be in a relationship with someone else or he's considering a relationship with someone else. That's not it at all. He just in general is changing his mind about a relationship. He's thinking that he needs to be single for a little while right now. Thank you, Jazz. I hope you have a good night. You were the headliner for Elizabeth Banks' skincare launch. That's incredible. I'll have to tell my mom. She's like really into skincare. I'm sure she'll know all about that. Wow, that's actually like such a big name. This person has 4 million followers. Whoa. Hun, you know her? You recognize her?
Oh yeah.
The girl I'm doing a reading for, she was in she did the headliner for Elizabeth Banks' skincare line
Oh yeah.
in Fashion Week. Yeah. Or she modeled for her is what I'm trying to say. The girl I'm talking to.
Isn't she an actor?
Yeah.
Actress?
Yeah. She has a skincare line. That's so cool. That's such a flex. I think that's so cool. Well, good luck, Jazz. I'm sure since you have a good like resume that you're building right now, the sky's the limit. You're welcome. Yeah, Amy, absolutely. Of course, of course. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.